Hey everybody, Brendan here. Excited today to talk to you about some of the recent changes we've made to our AI tech Tina in the last week. So we're getting hundreds of questions coming into Tina every day now, which is great to see her helping member workshops. You can get to any of the settings I'm talking about here through Tech Tina's tile, or by putting a question in, you'll get to the same page. So I've taken a recent member question that came through. They've given some vehicle details, any testing or symptoms, in this case, some fault codes and how they believe those codes are playing off each other. We'll give that question to Tina. And while she thinks about that, we'll look at some of the changes. So we're all using Tech Tina version 3.8, which is the same you'll be on when you currently log into the TAT site. We'll talk about this toggle down the bottom here in a moment, but first, just take note that we have a grey button up here at the moment, no conversation history. This is the first question I've asked Tina today, so she has no memory at the moment. But when she gives her first response to this question, you'll notice that that's going to turn green, and that means that she now has some memory there. So if I was to chat back and forth, she's going to be keeping all of this in her context. If I wanted to then start talking about a Nissan, I'd suggest you're much better to come and clear the conversation, which means that all this memory that you can click on and you can see what she's keeping in her memory there. When you clear the conversation, that'll turn grey again, and that means there's less chance of it muddying the waters, because why think about this Subaru, which could be a petrol, when we start talking about some Nissan diesel? So utilize that clear conversation. One of the biggest changes is the toggle down the bottom here. So at the moment, we are in standard mode, which is the default. Now, this is an extremely capable AI model that is able to search the TAT databases and everything in live web search. So it's looking out on the internet right up to today's current date for anything it can find relating to your query, but it's also able to look through TAT's thousands of repair solutions, let you know when there's good scan scope data that could help, and putting it all together so that we can get a diagnostic direction. So standard mode is going to take care of most of your queries in under 30 seconds, and it's a great place to start. Advanced mode, if we toggle that on, that's going to employ a reasoning AI model. Now, that's something that you'd use for more complex questions. So an example would be, we put in vehicle details, it's surging, it only happens after 20 minutes of driving. I recently did a clutch and it seems to only be since then. So we're putting more aspects to that question that might play off each other. So a reasoning model is much more adapted to putting those puzzle pieces together and playing them off each other to try and get complex situations and reasoning, as the name says. So that's generally still going to come back with a reply in under a minute or so, but it is for those more complex questions. There's no reason to sit there and wait longer for something that is a more general type question. As you can see, this Subaru I've put in here, and we did that on a standard search. I'm going to get it in under 30 seconds or so. Remember that wherever we put this, when we go back to the homepage, it's going to remember. So if you leave it on advanced, that means all of your queries will take that bit longer to think through. I'd suggest where I leave it is on standard, where you can get it's not to say one is better or worse than the other as far as a response. It's a different way of an AI model thinking of things. And to be honest, sometimes reasoning on questions that don't require it can just get too complex, and the responses that can come through can be just over the top for not what's needed. A couple of other features, so the print button, just so you can actually get the output, maybe give it to a technician, take it to the car. An area for feedback, so if there's something that's working great, something that's not working for you, please feel free to put it in here so that we know what direction to keep working on, Tina. We're making refinements every day, and the more that we can build together, we're going to keep improving this from strength to strength, and utilizing the speech to text. So quite often it's tedious to write out an entire story about the vehicle, but using the speech to text, we can quickly give great detail for a prompt. So there you go, a few points to consider with AI Tech Tina. As I say, we're constantly revising this, improving upon it, just as the models that underpin her are also constantly improving. If it's been a while since you've tried it, even a month ago, this is a completely different beast as changes keep rolling through. This is just going from strength to strength. So it's definitely worth getting in and having another crack. If you haven't definitely get in and start using Tina. And if you're one of the hundreds of members that are utilizing it every day, start working around with that prompting to see what works for you, what doesn't get you the results you want. And please definitely get into the feedback section where you can let us know if there's something specific that we should be focusing on to make sure we're improving this. We're working together to get the world's strongest automotive AI assistant underpinned by thousands of members' knowledge, and we're really excited with where this is going to go.